Ali, this is Superboy 15, and I get to continue my thing of reviewing comics based on my dreams. Last night I dreamt I was drowning, and only Superboy could save me. And also in the dream, I was Rick Springfield. I didn't think anyone has dreamt about being Rick Springfield since 1985. This is the conclusion to the Watery Grave story with Suicide Squad. Sadly, the book's regular artist could not make it this month, so instead we have fill-in art. And this isn't to denigrate the substitute, but instead to criticise the regular artist who needs a relief. I didn't care if he was also drawing adventurings of Superman and Robert Solo series on top of this. Didn't commit to a book if you cannot do it every month. In this series, Superboy, he relocated to Hawaii, and in the first few issues of this series, we saw him getting to bother with the local mafia. So this story has him join forces with Suicide Squad to shut down their operations. And right now, we are seeing Superboy fighting the leader of the Hawaiian Japanese mafia, who was sexy until they showed her face. Meanwhile, Suicide Squad escape from their prison because the bad guys are incredibly incompetent. By this point, the squad have lost their token red shirt. We have Deathshot and the amazing Knockabout. She is honestly the best. She was killed off pointlessly by Gail Simon. Funny how Gail Simon is allowed to fridge bisexual lesbians like that. We also have Boomerang and Tiger Shark. They are on the team. And here is Tiger Shark in action. This one is for you shark fetishists. Something worth noting is that at this point, I called the late sidearm a red shirt. But at this point, Knockabout and even Tiger Shark were just as likely to die. The three of them had made about the same amount of appearances. And when this came out, you probably would still spot Sidearm as the obvious red shirt because he is lame. But Tiger Shark and Knockabout, they could have easily perished too, but that effect is ruined by them obviously continuing to have plenty of appearances after this story. Superboy has some atrocious trash talk with Madam Mafia, and I must admit, I cannot really feel much investment in this fight. Even if she didn't have a metal faceplate, I think Superboy is just too powerful to gang up against what is a ninja with a fire sword and have anyone think that the fight is not in his favour. I would rather be seeing Superboy stutter around with the Suicide Squad characters. Have him butt heads with them some more, or try to get them working together. Their appearance feels very detached in this issue. We do see plenty of them, but Superboy is off on his own thing. And these parts are more exciting than him fighting that woman. And we have this bit where they flip the main bad guy who is working for the bad guys. Stinger Bell, he reveals that he is just in it for the money, so they offer him more money to switch sides. I didn't think they ever explain why her face is metal. It might just be a stupid fashion choice. She might be sexy underneath it. She might have accidentally fallen asleep with one side of her face on a turned on stove. Or she might be wearing it to cover scars, which would be sexy. Ditch the faceplate and show off your pretty scars, please. We have a nice action shot of this Suicide Squad. These four make up a very promising basis for a Suicide Squad. Maybe DC should have spun them off into an attempted revival, but they didn't. Instead, they gave Trump a solo series. And then Boomerang, it turns out he was a mole, unsurprisingly. He was selling them out to the mafia. And even in a guest appearance like this, he gets to be a shithead. This is also quite a subtle way to explain why he wasn't thrown in the clink with Deathshot and Knockabout. I have never used that word before, clink. I feel really cool and badass casually saying it there. Deathshot repays the favour by shooting Boomerang. Based on the John Ostrich run, I feel like Deathshot, he wouldn't really give a flying fuck about Boomerang betraying them yet again. But it's a bit of drama for Superboy to show up and save Boomerang from falling to his death. Then there is this bit where Tiger Shark and Knockabout, they do this stupid kamikaze thing, and they seem to sacrifice themselves to blow up the base, which only brings into question why they didn't do this sooner. They both survive, but we didn't see that outcome this issue, so in a sense they were ultimately just as much red shirts as Sidearm was. They could have never come back, but they did. And when it comes to things like that, we also learn that Deathshot shot Boomerang's hands, and Boomerang will never be able to throw a boomerang again. Of course he does. I didn't think they ever acknowledged this alleged permanent injury again. You know what? It is a good story, but it does stall a few times this issue. I never found the Villainess interesting or a veritable match for Superboy. I didn't know why they put that on the cover. Put Suicide Squad on the cover again. Not this uncompelling fight. It is, for the most part, a solid story with a nice guest appearance from Suicide Squad, as well as the return of some of Superboy's enemies. Knockabout is in it, and she is fantastic. So I'll give this issue 7 thumbs up. just for her. In the words of Rick Springfield, real name Richard Springthorpe, why can't I find a girl like that?